Yo, what's up guys, Registered Hazer here. So there actually is no round 3 battle for me because my opponent Rohale was very busy the weekend we were doing it. And that's a shame because I saw him in action. He's a lot like me and that would have been really interesting. Here's the screenshots. I felt kind of... It's because he was so AFK that whole week. I felt kind of dickish having to point it out. But he was a nice guy about it. But enough about that because it's time for grand finals. So my opponent was, I'm gonna try to pronounce the name, I think it was CERN. Could be wrong, don't quote me on that. So CERN used the exact same team the entire tournament, and I always study up my opponents before I go against them. And he used the exact same team, exact same sets, everything. So what I did was, in preparation, I took note of damage calculations and everything. I actually ended up writing down sets that he was using. I was writing down all their moves, that way I could be prepared and counter it. The other thing, I wasn't 100% positive if his Skarmory was using a Shed Shell or and a Rocky Helmet. It was probably Shed Shell given the makeup of his team, but just in case I did carry Magnezone anyway. So the team I'm using, I kind of just built it on the spot. I knew Landorus would be very important for victory, and it's true. Like, that's the reason why he has Cresselia, because his team would get destroyed if it wasn't for Cresselia by Landorus. And that alone is pretty much why Landorus got banned today. He's too powerful. Regardless, if he was needed to, keep the fairies in check, because Altaria and Clefable are ruling the tier right now, and I don't like that. But enough about that. Let's talk about this battle. So the makeup of my team, I did post a rate my team thread on it on Smogon. I will leave that in the description below if you're interested in reading that. But I wanted to kind of disguise the team, but also make it obvious. I have Max Spadef, Smooth Rock Tyranitar. I have the the Satin Rush Excadrill. I probably should have, if this was supposed to be a counter team, and it is. If I really wanted to make a true counter team, I should have made Excadrill a Mold Breaker. That way he wouldn't care about Earthquaking and having Cresselia come in. Just on the chance that he decided to not use the same team Grand Finals, I decided to just make him the Sand Sweeper, but whatever. And then I have Calm Mind. I believe it was Calm Mind, Wish, Protect. Was it Wish, Protect? Give me 1 second, let me confirm. It was Max Spadef, Calm, Magikarp, Clefable with Wish, Protect, Heal Bell, and Moonblast. Because most of his attackers that would do damage to me would be special attackers. I have plenty of options for his Charizard X, so I didn't really have to worry about it too much. And then I had Sub DD, Bounce, Mega Gyarados with Water Hole. I chose Bounce because it was probably going to give me the most coverage against his Amoonguss, which was Amoonguss paired with Cresselia was like the only problem this team had, and that could... I don't always have to Mega Evolve with Gyarados. Like, you really don't have to. You could go ahead and keep Gyarados' original typing because it's... In most cases, it's better, but in some cases, you want to prefer the dark typing, and this is in the middle of both. Then I had the Choice Specs. I believe I was using Choice Specs Magnezone. I could have been using Scarf for all I know. Both work. I accidentally had Thunder on him in this battle, so I had Thunderbolt, because I was really typing this fast so I can get the battle underway, and then just Calm Mind, Landorus T. So let's get into the battle. I'm going to lead off with Magnezone as he leads off with a Lomalola. This is good because he could protect or whatever. I'm just going to Volt Switch. It doesn't matter what he really switches into. He doesn't have anything that is immune to it. So I'm just going to continue going for Volt Switch. And I'm going to switch into my Landorus. He's going to switch out into Cresselia because Cresselia is his only switch in. I want to condition him to it. Make sure that he will constantly be doing that in case I ever want to sweep with Landorus, because that will be the goal. That was the goal I had in mind. So I'm going to switch on to Tyranitar. Tyranitar has Max Spadef. I can take whatever hit this Cresselia wants. He has nothing to do with it. He has nothing he can do to my Tyranitar, and I'm just going to crunch in case you want to stay in. Probably not being that. It's nice to get the boost, and I really want to lure something in. So he brings his Lomalola, he goes to Toxic, and I reveal my Toxic. This was going to be pivotal with taking down his Lomalola, and I decided to tech Toxic instead of Thunder Wave onto my Tyranitar. And he has no Clerics, so that's the best part. So his Lomalola can no longer stall most of my team, and now I'm just going to switch out to my Magnezone, that way my Tyranitar doesn't have to take any more damage. And I'll just keep Volt Switching, just keeping up offensive pressure as he switches into his Amoonguss. Now I'm going to switch out to my Landorus, and then make his Cresselia take Stealth Rock damage again as I go for another Psychic. I'm really not giving that Mungus any time to breathe, and I'm just trying to get as much damage, residual damage on that Cresselia as I can. And Moonlight's not going to be able to heal as much now that Sand's up, although it is over now. So I go into Clefable. He's going to switch out into his Mungus. Mungus is a good switch into that, and I'm just going to go for Heal Bell. That way my Tyranitar is no longer poisoned. I wanted to go for Protect in case he went for Spore. I would have gone for Spore. That would have been a really smart play, but he went for Giga Drain, and I'm just going to go right back down to my Tyranitar. He goes for Giga Drain again. Pretty smart play, but max Spitef, so not doing too much. He switches out to Skarmory, assuming I do a physical move. I actually just wanted to go for Fire Blast to try to take out that Mungus. And with all that damage done, I have to go into my Magna Zone, I tried to trap it, but he was indeed Shed Shell, and I'm just going to go for Volt Switch again anyway. But his days are numbered. His days are numbered. I tried to catch that Mungus with a Surprise Fire Blast, didn't really work though. So now I'm just going to try to set up my Gyarados as he goes for Spore. And this is where the gimmicks pop in because I'm running Bounce, and it's usually something you run on regular Gyarados, and when I think about it, this is kind of a regular Gyarados type of set. So Bounce is a meh kind of move. I'm just using it because it puts pressure on my opponent, is all it is. Force switches. He goes to his Doublade, and I'm getting all the hacks on this Doublade, paralyzing it, getting Waterfall. Eventually, at some point, I flinch it, and it's unfortunate, but doesn't really matter too well. In the long run, it didn't. So I'm just gonna keep fucking around with this Amoonguss. I'm not gonna Mega Ball because then that just makes he'll be able to break my stuff with Giga Drain. And I'm able to paralyze it, but I don't remember how he gets rid of the paralysis. I think he gets rid of the paralysis. I'm not too sure. He goes to Cresselia. It's good because then if I Mega Evolve Cresselia, I cannot do anything to Mega Gyarados, and his Amoonguss's Scalds will not be able to break my substitute, which was the goal of why I even used Mega Gyarados when making this team. I was thinking of so many different Mega Pokemon I could use here. Like, for one I thought of was Mega Pinsir. Mega Pinsir just didn't cut it. Gyarados can break stall more than he could, so now I'm just trying to inflict as much damage as I can. I am getting the upper hand. I'm weakening a lot of his Pokemon, especially his Doublade. As Mungus can only switch in so many times, even with Regenerator, it's gonna get hit. So I'm just gonna bounce anyway, regardless if you want to say it or not. I probably, yeah, it was better for me to just go for bounce. So I only have enough HP for one more substitute, and he's gonna keep forcing me to use substitute and while he gains opportunities to heal with his Amoonguss. I'm rambling a lot. I'm sorry about that, but it's a very boring battle. So I'm just gonna go for a substitute, bounce, all that, just kind of doing the same thing over and over again. He goes to his Lone Lola, and this is all right because then I have another opportunity to set up a Dragon Dance because the Lone Lola can't really touch me. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And I'll just go for Waterfall. I wanted to go for Waterfall just to see how much damage it would do, but probably just should have went for Bounce anyway. I expected him to switch out, really. And now he's going to switch out into his Doublade to take this +2 Bounce. Doublade's obviously going to take that because it's Eviolite. And he gets paralyzed here, and I'm able to knock it out with the Waterfall, but that doesn't really matter too much because then I get knocked out next turn anyway. Oh yeah, I also get the flinch on his level Lola. So much hacks going on in my favor. But you know, it happens. I mean, regardless, Gyarados fainted, but I was able to take out Doublade, and that is somewhat important. Doublade wasn't really all that scary to me. So now I just have to find some way to get a lot of damage to knock out his Amoonguss, and I'm just constantly switching around and forcing his Pokemon in and out. I don't have any Stealth Rocks up anymore, so I'm trying to bait his Cresselia in some way so I can knock it out. Really, it's just going through the motions over and over again. I'm trying to get stat drops again. We can use Loma because Loma is a problem, but not much when Cresselia's gone because I could just sweep with Landorus. So anyway, he goes for like a Wish, try to bring his HP back. He's using that double regenerator core, and while it is annoying, it's definitely manageable. I kind of baited his Amoonguss to come in because that's what I'm trying to do. And then as he goes into Cresselia, I'm just going to switch into my Excadrill because now I'm like, okay, this is enough. I'm just going to go for damage plays right now. So he's fearing it because he was going autopilot and I noticed it. And I decided to just do whatever I wanted for damage. Alone will resist the Iron Head, but that's fine. I do not care one bit at all. So I'm going to switch out to Clefable in case you want to go for Saw or something. He switches into Skarmory. He sacks Skarmory. I assume it's because he wanted to get a free switch into something. So he goes into his Charizard now. His Charizard's finally out. That's fine. I really don't care too much about his Charizard. That thing's not really all that threatening to me. But I am going to give this opportunity so I can heal my Tyranitar back up, because I know he doesn't really have too many moves to hit me with. He is burned, but I'm not really using this Tyranitar to hit on the physical side too much. So now I'm going to switch into Landorus, because I figured he'd want to go for Roost here. And he's, being threatened out. That's cool. I'm just going to keep going for attacks. It'd be smart for his Cresselia to go for Moonlight now, so I'm going to take that opportunity to go out into my Excadrill again. As he goes for Moonlight, he can't recover too much because of the Sandstorm, and that's what I like about this team. It really fucks with his team. And since I know his switching would have been a Alomomola, I'm just going to go for Earthquake, and Excadrill is just going to tear through his team. I should have made this a Sword Stance Excadrill. That would have made this matchup so much easier, but whatever. So I'm just going to constantly just throw out moves because I know he's not going to want to stay in. He made the mistake of going to his Amoonguss here, because that thing's tacked on way too much damage to even survive. Cresselia is going to die too, so going for Iron Head because I know he's not going to want to bring in his Alomomola because it's too risky. So now he brings in his Alomomola, but at the rate of HP it's in and how everything's dropping, Excadrill pretty much broke his team. I was able to successfully lower the HP of this Pokemon enough to where these moves would knock him out, and now that he's switching to his Amoonguss, Amoonguss is down. And that's one big problem out of the way, because then I could just sweep again later. And now I'm just going to go into my Clefable to take the Scald and wait for the Sandstorm to be up again, and I'm just going to fire off Moonblast as he goes to Cresselia. Cresselia is down, so now Landorus is easily able to take the game from there, and he's just going to forfeit because the Landorus sweep was inevitable. So that was a really long battle, and I hope you all enjoyed it. It's stall, and really when it comes to stall, you have to think ahead of your opponent. My opponent was going autopilot a little bit, and that's what led me to set up a scenario where he would be screwed either way, if that makes any sense. I'm sorry it took this long for this battle to come out. I meant to put it up right after the last one, but because this wasn't my best week, this was not my best week. I got extremely sick. There's a possibility that I might have a tumor. I'll find out on Monday. And fireworks everywhere. It was impossible for me to record anything when I was finally feeling better because everyone was either testing out fireworks or it was the 4th of July, and that was a clusterfuck of fireworks. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. This is Retro Quasar signing off.